Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another week of Arena on Wednesday Night Magic. I'm your host, Rogue Link. And with me is...
Sakura!
Hey!
Hello, friends. I'm really excited to see some of these, hopefully, new cards being played today.
Oh, I'm so excited to see everybody's new brews. The Discord has been very active in terms of the people helping out with brews and doing all this good stuff. I know I was sick sometime last week, and as a distraction, I just brewed up like 2 decks. Which I fortunately had just enough wild cards to build, so.
Hopefully everybody has redeemed their codes for their free packs for the the War of the Spark packs. I mean,
Yep,
I think the code is actually War of the Spark or something.
I think it's yeah, it's either War Spark or something like that.
Yeah. Hang on, let me look.
Play War Spark. That's what.
There we go. Play War Spark. Well,
we were so close.
Thank you. But yeah, no, it's this again for those of you who are new to Wednesday Night Magic. Wednesday Night Magic is just a fun thing that we do as a community to showcase a bunch of the speedrunners in the community who also play Magic. And if you're interested in, you know, joining us for one of these events, make sure to join the Team Instant Speed Discord and get that community role so that you can participate and maybe showcase some of your decks on the stream.
Yeah, it's always great seeing what different people bring to these events. You know, we've got some control players, we've got some aggro players, we've got some mono red players.
Cough, cough me.
We've got people forcing aristocrats before there are enough cards for it. Cough, cough me.
But yeah, we're gonna be getting started here with our first two. I almost like contestants. This is definitely not one of those games. Our first 2 players here, Uncle Drake versus Mike.
I can't quite tell what they're going to be bringing to the table, but it looks like it's going to be some sort of Gruul shenanigans versus maybe Rakdos?
Yeah, I'm thinking I see red and black, so Rakdos, and the other one red and green. So this will be pretty cool. I love red, so anything that has red cards, I'm all for. I almost like contestants. This is definitely not.
Yeah, I'm also a big... I guess I'm less of a big fan of like just black by itself. Usually for me, there's some sort of black... Like, I can never decide if I like Abzan better or if I like Mardu better. In terms of the table, but it looks like green, white, sort of, black or black, red, white.
Yeah, I'm thinking I see red and black.
Both are great.
Rakdos, and the other one. All right, look, and we have Uncle Drake here on the screen. Look, he's done all his dailies. Get those coins so you can get more packs. I have not done my dailies because I'm bad.
I've been doing a decent number of dailies because I've been grinding it out for those. I think I had about 30,000 gold stored up for War of the Spark.
Yep.
I got a decent number of cards that I was looking for, which definitely helped brewing the aristocrats shenanigans. Oh, and it looks like we're ready to go.
So this is again for this week. We're gonna be doing standard best of 3. So our first 2 people here, Uncle Drake versus Mike. Ooh.
Uncle Drake with some awkward keeps. I can definitely see the wheels turning here. I don't think I'd keep this one. Ooh, having trouble having both red and yeah, you gotta.
Oh man.
This is gonna be a real rough start for Uncle Drake. And it's kind of hard to tell what Mike's on. might be some sort of counter strategy with those evolution sages. Turn 3 Judith, always nice to get that on curve. Judith being the only not new aristocrats card, +1/+0 to all of your creatures, and non-token creatures are able to ping any target when they die. Unfortunately, that's not going to work out with a mass. So here, if Uncle Drake chooses to block the Growth Chamber Guardian, that won't get an extra ping unless they blocked with Judith. I think I'd probably take the block here. Just get that Growth Chamber Guardian out of the way before something goes crazy.
Now, yep. Unfortunately, it's still going to be enough, I think, to kill Growth Chamber Guardian.
Yep, with the Judith trigger it would be enough, but...
Oh.
Mike going for the pump spell there. Still not enough to kill the Growth Chamber Guardian. Ended up being a 2 for 2, or 2 for 1, I guess. 2 for 1. No, 2 for 2. Yeah, that would have been a 2 for 2. Mayhem Devil, another really good new card, allows you to ping for 1 any target when any player sacrifices, which is really good to know. So if you're forcing your opponent to sacrifice, that's a ping. If your strategy involves sacrificing, that's a ping. So just in terms of the cards that are in play right now, if Uncle... the Priest of the Forgotten Gods, that's going to be 3 triggers off of Mayhem Devil. 2 for sacrificing their own creatures, and then 1 for Mike sacrificing a creature as well.
So we did see Mike draw Gift of Growth, which untaps target creature, and it gets +2/+2 till the end of turn. But if it's kicked, it's got a 2 kicker, then it gets +4/+4. So it's another buff spell here.
Uncle Drake going for the new Chandra. Ooh, and another Mayhem Devil. That's going to be really nice, getting multiple triggers off of that. Unfortunately, I think the Chandra forced him to discard that Mayhem Devil. Beast Whisperer coming down for Mike, giving them a decent bit of card advantage here.
No problem. Fire can't solve.
Well, we got 2 of the same card.
And 2
Can
Footlight
play
Fiends. So this is where Priest of the Forgotten Gods is really going to shine. When Uncle Drake taps here, they'll be able to sacrifice the 2 Footlight Fiends for a grand total of 4 damage, or sorry, not 4 damage, 6 damage, plus the opponent sacrificing, plus drawing a card, plus getting black mana. It's kind of ridiculous.
Going, was gonna go all in for the Planeswalker, but changing their mind. Just going direct instead.
Yeah, which this type of deck definitely benefits from stalling out the board, being able to use the 1/1 pingers when they die in order to just really mess with combat math. Unfortunately, Mayhem Devil only triggers on sacrifice effects. So Uncle Drake won't be getting the benefits from Mayhem Devil if the Footlight Fiends die here. Ah, yes, here we go. Taking the blocks, then sacrificing. Good line. So Uncle Drake doesn't take the damage, and you can see the triggers already stacking up.
Now to decide who to target here.
Yeah, both the Mayhem Devils and the Foot-like Fiends are any target. So it looks like Uncle Drake is choosing to ping the Whisperer first, and importantly, these triggers, these individual pings go off before the Priest sacrifice. So since Uncle Drake is using the 3 individual pings to kill the Beast Whisperer, that will mean Mike has to sacrifice one of the other 2 creatures, but unfortunately with the Wild Onslaught coming down, the Beast Whisperer is just barely going to survive this. The one more sacrifice trigger. And that sacrifice trigger was from Mike being forced to sacrifice, since, like I said earlier, Mayhem Devil triggers off of any player sacrificing.
Playing the land out of exile. Unfortunately, can't have 2 Chandras on the field.
Yeah, the Chandra is pretty high up. At least there's always a backup Chandra in case anything happens.
See, and what I find interesting is it still highlights it as if you could play it. That could be a dangerous trap for someone who's a new player.
That's true. Although playing a Chandra into another Chandra, or just playing a Planeswalker into another one, definitely allows you to get rid of your old one and get those counters back if you're just aggressively ticking it down. Uncle Drake choosing to sacrifice their board in order to get some additional triggers off. I feel like that might have been a little too early to fire off, especially considering Mike has a full grip of cards right now. Oh, I see what they're doing. They're planning to get the kill with Chandra, since Chandra, I believe, is a -7.
Yep.
There we go. And Chandra's special ability to do exile top 7 cards and deal damage to boot. So there we go. First game goes to Uncle Drake.
GG to Uncle Drake.
GG. I totally forgot that the Chandra triggered at 7.
Yeah, -7 deals that much damage, or I guess whenever 1 or more loyalty counters are removed, I believe she deals that much damage to target opponent or planeswalker. So,
right. So
yikes.
That being removed from any source, including herself.
Mm-hmm.
Taking out the Bontu for this matchup. Bontu is really nice with Mayhem Devils. I've had some pretty crazy turns with sacrificing my board and my lands to Bontu with Mayhem Devils or any of the other aristocrats in play. And here we go, time for game 2. Definitely think this could still go either way. Uncle Drake had a couple very powerful turns, which allowed them to get ahead pretty early. And this is a much better opener than last time, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Opening with a Zombie Kitty. And Mike getting down the Cinder Vines as fast as possible. Dreadhorde Butcher, another new card, is a 1/1 for red and a black that deals its damage deals its power to any target when it dies. And if it deals damage to a player or opposing planeswalker, then you get a +1/+1 counter on it. It's very good for running away with the games, or even having a turn 3 kill with Thud.
It also has haste, which is another.
It also has haste, which is really powerful here. If it doesn't get blocked for a couple turns, you're staring down a 3-3, and that's no good. Mike going for some ramp here, trying to get some card draw, going for something big, it seems. Maybe hoping to play that Gift of Growth kicked on their elf.
There you go, another 3-3. So now 6 damage on the field. Gonna be getting another +1/+1 counter. So we now have a 4-4 Butcher.
Yeah, and unfortunately that Zombie Kitty has Menace. So even if Mike drops a chump blocker here, and Uncle Drake doesn't find a way to get rid of it, that 3-3 is still coming in regardless.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Mike doesn't have quite enough for that pump spell.
Ooh. Down to 1.
Down to 1. Going for the sacrifice? Right, going for the sacrifice, and that's going to be 5 to the face.
Yep. And there's the concede. Uncle Drake taking the second victory and going to be 2-0, making the victory for both matches.
Yeah, that was a crazy aggressive deck.
I really like that one. This is actually one of the reasons why I like Rakdos, is because relatively quick. All the buffing, all the spells damage. Normally, any spell that you cast is going to be some sort of additional damage going somewhere.
Right. Lots of flexibility in Rakdos, too. With things like Angrath's Rampage, I believe it is, forcing your opponent to sacrifice an artifact, or a planeswalker, or a creature. And it's only red and black. The downside is its sorcery speed, but with that much versatility on one card for 2 CMC, it's kind of ridiculous.
And that's another instance of just not drawing the right cards at the right moment. One of the issues, with Mike's deck at the beginning, first round there was not really enough mana to cast any creatures to get any out. And then second was just no creatures on the field to block anything.
Right, and looks like the next match is ready and waiting. We've got Clifford versus Seawolf. Really curious to see what they're going to be bringing to the table. I know Clifford's been talking about that Dreadhorde Butcher Thud deck in the Discord a bit, and Seawolf is building a deck that I've definitely considered building. The Black-White Orzhov Heroes. I'm guessing that's going to be a token strategy, if I had to guess, with Sorin and Gideon. At the very least, Gideon. I mean, it's on the deck box.
Yep.
The new Gideon's really strong too. I haven't gotten a chance to play with it yet, but it looks good.
Yeah, I've actually been looking at Gideon just because it looks like Gideon has a significant role to play in regards to the lore. And that's, I think, one of my favorite things about Magic is just like the underlying lore of the game itself. And so,
Yeah, this
You know.
spoiler season was done in a fantastic way to slowly reveal the story.
mhm.
And here we go, games kicking off. Let's see what their first sevens are. Oh yeah,
Planes-
this is definitely a token deck. Might be control.
Now,
Vitalize kind of screams control to me. And Clifford's definitely going for the Thud deck. I see a Judith, I see a Thud, I see an Abnormal Endurance. No
one of the
Dreadhorde,
scary
though.
things for Seawolf is no swamps yet.
It's true, no swamps, but all of his... I can definitely see Seawolf keeping this hand, since all of
Mhm.
his cards that require black mana are 4-drop. So he's got some time to get there.
Yep. Although now no longer getting any mana. So hopefully get
Gideon
some.
on 3 is going to be kind of rough. Clifford, I think, going for that find finality as quick as he can.
Dropping the tap mana. We got another Knights of Grace that could be played. We'll see, because we're gonna be running out of hand space pretty soon.
Yeah, hopefully Seawolf won't have to discard. Maybe getting a land soon. Revitalize, pretty strong in terms of gaining life against the Rakdos deck.
Oh, there's the Butcher.
Coming in for 3 damage here. Or 4 damage, sorry. Forgot about the Judith buff. And the Abnormal Endurance, very important card here for the Butcher. And a Lyra. Seawolf draws a Lyra, but unfortunately, Lyra is not mana.
Nope.
And this is gonna be in a real tough spot here soon. That
At
Butcher
least,
is just gonna be able to ping stuff.
Yeah, at least, knocking down Clifford's health. Clifford is only at 8, and so gonna have to pull something soon. That's
true. And Clifford definitely going to be getting some advantage here with these Abnormal Endurance. Great card. +1/+0, or +2/+0, that's right. And the creature comes back to the battlefield. So this means the Dreadhorde is not only going to come back when it dies, but it's going to do additional damage on death as well.
Oh, there we go. There's the life necessary.
Here we go. And I believe one of the options that Gideon can give is lifelink, correct?
Vigilance, lifelink, and indestructible. I think it's all of them.
Is it all? I thought it
I'm
was
pretty sure it's all 3.
I think it was a choice because of the interface that popped up.
Oh, maybe.
So Seawolf definitely feels like they're ahead for sure. And they do have Clifford at 2, so that's pretty strong.
Sorry, yeah, you are correct. It is that they choose 1.
Okay. Man, if it was all 3,
Yeah, that would be insane.
I feel like Gideon would cost way more than 1 white if that was the case. Seawolf playing right into Clifford's trap here, getting another 3 damage from a dead Dreadhorde Butcher.
Unfortunately, it comes back as a 1-1 instead of a 2-1. Because I believe Judith no longer on the field.
Right, and those counters go away as well whenever it dies.
Yep. Oh, Clifford!
Clifford going out on their own terms. I can respect that.
So GG, Seawolf getting the victory for this one.
Let's get a look at Seawolf's sideboard here. Lyra's Wrath, Mortify, D-Spark, nice. Cry the Canarium, pretty good suite for both big creatures or against aggro.
Ooh, I see some Kaya's Wrath coming in there.
Yeah, that's going to be... The fact that Kaya's Wrath exiles is going to be very important in this matchup. Actually, wait, it is not exile, it's just destroy. So, it's still going to help clear out the board before Clifford can get a lot of aristocrats in play, but it's entirely possible that Seawolf might be taking some of that damage, depending on what's on the board at the time. Oh, no, I love this hand, but there's no land!
Oh no!
Okay, much better. There we go.
Yeah.
Cry of Carnarium's going to help too.
And the chapel, now at least we have black mana.
Exactly. And Cry of the Carnarium does definitely exile. It is double black, though, which is going to be a bit tough for Seawolf to... but it will prevent all of those damage pings that would usually come in with this sort of deck that Clifford's playing. Though I think Clifford has the combo right now with the Thud, Collision Colossus, and the Dreadhorde. It's all going to come down to what Seawolf ends up deciding to do. I think with that first striker, it's not quite going to be enough. So I think in order for the 3-turn kill to work, you have to deal damage for a couple turns in a row.
Got some thinking going on. What to do.
Clifford deep in the tank on this turn. I'm going for the Initiate, I believe? Dreadhorde Initiate? Can't quite see the name, but another really good creature, 1/1 with first strike that has a mass 1 when it dies. A mass being one of the new mechanics from this set, where essentially you have a army token that gets more and more counters on it, equal to the number of a mass, and if you don't have an army token, you make one. It's possible to clone your army so that you can have multiple, but generally you only have the one.
Oh, I didn't even see that Clifford has some sleeves. Cool looking sleeves, too.
Yeah, I love the new visual upgrades that you can purchase on Arena these nowadays.
So again, Clifford, deep in thought, what are we going to see this time?
I wouldn't be surprised if we just get a straight up lightning strike, get rid of that first striker.
Might be seeing lightning strike on, yeah, probably on Seawolf's turn. Gonna give it vigilance. Yep. There we go.
There's that lightning strike.
Yep. And from Knight of Malice, I believe, is only hexproof against white, so...
Right, only
Yep.
hexproof against white, and I don't think Clifford really showed any direct removal last game, so Seawolf might not have been expecting the direct lightning strike.
Clifford getting a bunch of mana here, but mana isn't exactly what he's looking for.
Yeah, unfortunately, Clifford's had a lot of answers, and is constantly getting creatures back. But Seawolf just keeps chipping away at their health.
At least has a couple of creatures to answer some attacks. Ooh. Ooh, I see another planeswalker.
Yeah, the new Liliana is pretty good. Continuing to go with Vigilance here. Which I think is a pretty decent play, since the 3 power with a first strike is just enough to take care of Clifford's current board.
Yep. So again, Seawolf is running into a problem where, again, doesn't have the extra swamp needed to play some of these cards. Some of them actually just now can only play 1 card in his hand. Another Knight of Grace.
Yeah, Seawolf unfortunately stuck on 3 land for quite a while here. Not really able to play that Sorin or any of the double black cards currently in their grip.
So, Gideon also has a -6 ability to exile target non-land permanent. So, I'm curious to see what we're gonna... Well, I'm curious if we're gonna actually see that at any point. No,
guess
it
not.
looks like Clifford not having an answer to anything, being mana flooded in his hand, gonna be forfeiting, giving Seawolf the second victory, and that's gonna be it for those two.
Some interesting games for sure. GG's to both players.
So let's see who we have up next. I believe we have Clifford versus NY Rambler. So I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing the same deck from Clifford. Maybe a different deck? Clifford does make a bunch of different ones.
That's true. Not sure if Clifford's been able to build multiple decks with the new standard, but I'm definitely curious to see what they'll be bringing to the table. I'm curious to see what NY Rambler is going to be bringing to the table too. NY Rambler not having finished all of their quests for today, so at an immediate disadvantage, unfortunately.
Oh, but 28 out of 30, that's pretty close.
It's true, almost there. Black or something. We'll never know.
Nope. I don't think we will. The other one's white, or it looks like red with the amount of text. Like
Oh,
space.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah, those are my favorite. Those are my favorite dailies to get. The white or red, because I have a mono white and a mono red deck.
There you go.
So, the mono white is just like a white weenie deck, and so you just cast as many cards as possible, and then peace out.
Oh,
after
there you
run
go.
out of the momentum.
I'm glad that I just generally play decks in order to get my quests done. I haven't made any like super aggressive low cost of each color decks just to like grind through the dailies.
Yeah, I've got one for red, one for white, one for blue. I still need to make one for green and one for black, but lazy.
Yeah, right now I'm playing all the between two decks. I have all the good colors of Magic, so anything but
Ooh.
blue.
Ooh, some hot takes in here. Whew, it's getting heated.
Honestly, I've never been good at playing blue. Like, when do you counter a spell? I have no idea.
Well, normally before it resolves.
This is true. It's true.
That's probably the
That's
best
fair.
time. All right, so looks like Clifford is playing somebody, but I don't think it's Rambler.
Perhaps maybe some practice.
Unless it's like really delayed on the bottom.
Maybe? I'm not sure. The match seemed to work out just fine.
Yeah.
But either way, 5 damage coming in to NY Rambler here.
Okay, it's definitely the top one is going way faster than the bottom one, because now that we're seeing Thought Erasure, we've seen the eyes on the the top cards for a while, so it must be a little bit of a delay between the two.
Yeah, that does seem to be what's going on now that you mention it. I didn't think the cards lined up. It seems to be mostly synced now, but it might just be a little bit behind. But that's okay. We'll just get surprised.
Surprise!
Dreadhorde Butcher coming in.
Oh, there we go. We're starting to see some stuff. I like stuff. We can see some mana.
Nicol Bolas, the older Nicol Bolas. Pretty good grip of cards in NY Rambler, dropping down that Nikki B.
I always love the animations from these cards.
Oh, for the mythics?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are pretty great. Seeing the Oketra one was particularly interesting for me because it's the exact same animation from Amonkhet, but she's a zombie now. So I'm like, oh, this is a little awkward, but oh, I get it. NY Rambler with a lot of lands in hand. That Angrath Rampage is going to be pretty useful.
Yep. And Nicole also has I believe it's 7 mana costing in total. It's 4 and then blue, black, and red mana to transform him to his Planeswalker status. So
and that's that's a really good Planeswalker on the other side too.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of Nikki B.
Well, there's the other one. No, I don't think there's enough. He has enough. Oh yeah, he does.
Yep.
Now that he's played,
only needs 1 red mana source here, fortunately. The destroying that Dreadhorde's gonna put him really close to dead, though. So this is gonna be by the skin of their teeth.
So I'm assuming he's hoping that Clifford doesn't really have any Clifford doesn't have many spells. Well, two cards in his hand at the moment on the bottom screen.
All right, bringing some stuff back with the find. It's going to be an... Oh, wait, no, not quite. I thought this was going to be it, but not quite yet.
Nope.
It's very close, though. Going to bring them down to 2. And it can't even use the Angrath's Wrath because that's just going to bring him even closer. Oh man, how frustrating is that got to be? It's like, oh man, I gotta kill those creatures, but the best thing about these kinds of decks is if you kill that creature, you're just gonna get pinged.
Yep. And there's
and
the
going for the concede.
Yep. Clifford getting the win.
Looks like NY Rambler going in for more of a control shell in terms of the sideboard, taking out, I think that was 4 Thief of Sanities? I didn't see what they sideboarded in, though.
I'm sorry, I was just asking the restream to quickly sync up the videos, so they might pause the top one for a second. And I didn't see what they were sideboarding in either.
It was a pretty quick sideboard. The what was in there seemed to be mostly focusing on counters and things like that, but they didn't come in. I missed what did come in, but they took out some of the more aggressive cards. Wow, that is a lot of...
Woo!
Okay, that was incredible. That was kind of great.
Are you sure you don't want Nicol Bolas? Because I think you want Nicol Bolas.
There's some part of me that would have kept that. And it's not a good hand, but I really wanted to keep that. Some hand attack and enter the God Eternals. Enter the God Eternals, another pretty good new card. Definitely one of the better mass cards as well. Another one of those big story moment cards. But also costs 5. Oh, looks like Clifford either sideboarded into a more aggressive hand or drew a much more aggressive hand. But that Fireblade Artist turn 2, Judith turn 3, it's really good.
All right, let's see what's going to be chosen.
I'd probably get rid of the Judith here, personally. But that Collision Colossus is also kind of tempting.
Fireblade.
Going for the immediate threat. Fireblade with 2/2 with haste.
Makes sense, because at the moment it doesn't really look like Rambler has an answer for it if it comes out.
NY Rambler definitely having the removal to take care of whatever Clifford brings down. Judith gonna start pinging things, though.
Yeah, if only the Thought Erasure would have come a little bit faster, then might have gotten rid of the Judith.
Taking out the Find Finality here. Keeping that land on top. Should be able to cast the Enter the God Eternals next turn. Very spicy card. Deals 4 damage to target creature. And you gain life equal to damage dealt this way. and target creature puts the top 4 cards in their graveyard, and create a 4/4 with a mass 4. It's kind of crazy.
That's a lot in one go.
You just read the card, and it just keeps going. Judith cracking in for 2. Rambler holding off on those God Eternals.
Actually, because it needs 6 mana. He's got 5. Yeah.
I think it's
Oh, 3. No, it's 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm wrong.
Let's see. And it has black. Yeah, so I guess they're just holding off on it. Maybe choosing to use the Bedevils first. Though, interesting choice here. NY Rambler using the Bedevil on the Judith, causing in response to the abnormal, so that Judith dies before the effect kicks in. So Find Finality bringing in the Fireblade Artist and the Judith back.
And we see that Rambler has Vraska's in hand.
Vraska's Contempt really good for getting in that exile.
Yep.
Which is going to be fantastic for this Judith coming up.
Exactly. And with it being an instant, going to be able to do it whenever. Oh, but decides to opt out this time. That was a bunch of Lilianas that I saw go into the graveyard. I think I saw 2 Lilianas go into the graveyard there.
Clifford going for some more Dreadhorde Butcher shenanigans. Now, does Clifford have 3 mana up? No, only 2. So they can't do a collision and a thud. But they can get rid of that 4/4 zombie.
Yep.
Oh, and I forgot collision gives trample as well. So that was some going through, and then another 5 with the on-death trigger. And another 1 here from the Footlight Fiend taking a death.
So now we have 2, both of our players, neither of them have any creatures that they can play.
That Find Finality draw being real strong here on Clifford's part.
Yep.
But unfortunately, Vraska's Contempt has that Dreadhorde Butcher's name on it.
I think that's a moment of craving that I see.
Yep.
Gonna be another. Oh my goodness. It's just the creatures come out and then they just go back to the graveyard and another Vraska's.
Yeah, Clifford has a really great strategy going here for the long game of just constantly recurring these creatures with a pretty wide variety of spells that do so. Rambler is so far keeping up.
Rambler needs to... Yeah, Rambler needs to get a creature out that's going to be able to survive. Has more than enough mana for a significant amount of creatures, I'm assuming, in his deck, but needs to be able to actually draw them.
Or one of those Bolas Planeswalkers.
Oh, goodness.
Wherever those 5 Boluses we saw at the beginning of this game.
It looks like they got shoveled right to the bottom. Oh,
Yeah,
we
it'll
saw 2 Lilianas.
Oh, yep. Some more removal on Rambler's side. Unfortunately, it's going to cause that Footlight Fiend to be able to ping that just 1 more damage.
Yep. More mana coming out. Again, only has Thud. Oh my goodness. Can we get any more mana? We are mega mana flooded here.
A massive bomb's gonna drop somewhere.
Yep. Oh my goodness.
Ooh, that's like, I think that's 3 or 4 turns of mana for Rambler there.
Yeah. And another Thud for Clifford.
But still, Clifford chipping away at that life total.
Yep. At least, oh goodness. And that's the thing, is Clifford has been making progress, whereas Rambler is just kind of holding on here.
Right, I believe this is the 3rd, maybe the 4th finality that Clifford's played. And every time he plays one of those, he gets just a little bit of incremental advantage between the Judith coming back, or the Flame Artist coming back, or a Footlight Fiend, or a Dreadhorde Butcher. And now Clifford has enough mana to play all of them all in one go.
Yep.
Bedevil on the Judith. Pretty good call there.
Oh no, this is not going well for Rambler. Mana every single turn.
And there's the Dreadhorde Butcher. This is going to be a swing in for 4.
Yep, and
It's
then we'll
getting
probably
close.
see Thud for 2. We'll probably see now using all the Thuds to get rid of, like, I think Thud just throws 2.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, this will be enough right here. Yeah. GG. Clifford again with the second win at
GG.
Rambler. Unfortunately, not being able to pull out any creatures for the longest time. And unfortunately, that will cost him.
Yeah, Clifford keeping up the momentum and just slowly grinding away with that ink advantage. GG to both players.
Yeah. So while we have our momentary break between the players here, we can talk a little bit about our tournament coming up. We have a Speed Gaming Magic the Gathering Summer 2019 tournament on Matcherino. I think it's !challenge? Question mark?
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. So there is a instant speed summer challenge for Magic the Gathering Arena that is happening on June 1st and 2nd. You can click the link in that command there. You'll be able to sign up if you're interested. Sign up. It's a $10 entry fee, and there is a $1,000 minimum in prizes. So, you know, you play Magic, why not? Give it a try. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, June 1st, 11 a.m. EDT. Best of 3, traditional standard. If you go to the Matcherino page and you type in the code MTGA Summer 2019, it will add another 50 cents to the prize pool for the winners. So, it's pretty good platform there.
Yep, you can even get merchandise to help boost that prize pool total. And I've been told that we're going to be getting our logo shirts on there eventually too.
Yo. I mean I can have a dragon on a shirt? Oh my god.
Not only can you have a dragon on a shirt, you can have a cool dragon on a shirt with our logo.
Oh my god.
That makes it even better.
I can't wait.
And it looks like the next round starting Seawolf versus Mike. Let's see what decks they're bringing this time, if they're going to change it up. That
Ooh.
definitely looks like a change up. Massacre Girl and Chupacabra staring us in the face.
Ooh, Chupacabra. Oh, I always get beat up by that creature. Someone
there's a one-
sacrificing it and putting it back on the field.
It's pretty strong. Fortunately for mono white players, there's a 1/3 that prevents enter the battlefield effects from triggering, which is real good against the green black deck.
So you have a Gruul on one side, see? Or at least so far. I don't see any of the other colors.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be Gruul versus Golgari here. Mike choosing to keep Seawolf off that mana. Going for the elf is usually a pretty good call. I can't wait to see the Massacre Girl drop, though.
With the menace? I think it's got menace.
It does have menace. It also does... it's really good at wiping the board. Probably more on that when we get to it, because Mike is playing right into Massacre Girl's hands right now. And I just really want to see it go off, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm real excited.
Keep up the suspense.
Well, we've got 2 more turns till that thing drops, so yeah, this can enter tapped. Go for the Jade Light Ranger, get some card draw. Maybe keep the thing on top. There we go. And it looks like Mike mostly focusing on the mana dorks, the elves, in order to get these spells played. Come on, do the thing. Do the thing. Do the thing. Yep, well, this makes sense because the Jade Light Ranger's gonna die anyway. Let it in. It's probably going to let it in. I don't think there's any good blocks here. Yep.
Yeah.
So, Massacre Girl is a 4/4 for 5 with Menace that puts a -1/-1 counter on everything when it enters the battlefield, and for each thing that dies, it puts on more -1/-1 counters. For those keeping score, everything on the battlefield except Massacre Girl just now got -8 -1/-1 counters on it. That kills things. And I think that did exactly what Seawolf wanted it to do.
Yep. And with Mike only at 1 card now in their hand, it'll be interesting to see what they're going to be able to pull from here. Got a Evolution Sage, I believe.
Yeah, Evolution Sage, a very good card if you've got counters of any form on the battlefield. Evolution Sage is a 3/2 that whenever a land enters the battlefield, you proliferate, which is not a new mechanic, but a mechanic that's coming back this set that increases all the counters on everything by 1. So if you have a +1/+1 counter, increases that. If you have loyalty counters on Planeswalkers, it increases that. It's pretty good.
Ooh. I saw Gulta. That's a pretty powerful card coming up, too.
Oh, I see it now.
Yep.
Barely peeking over that name tag.
Yep.
Mike joined the concession.
Yep. Mike being able to see what's coming up, I think knows. Unfortunately, without anything that'll be able to wipe the board.
Yeah, Mike unfortunately played straight into the Massacre Girl, just getting the entire board wiped with not that much mana as a backup. It's really hard to recover from something like that.
I think after this, I might just try to find a way to throw Massacre Girl into my deck.
Yeah, I know when I was brewing, I was trying to decide between Bontu and Massacre Girl, and I ended up going with Bontu because I've got synergy with sacrificing, but otherwise,
yes.
but Massacre Girl is in the sideboard. Speaking of Bontu, an interesting hand for Seawolf here. With the Llanowar Elf, they could possibly get some advantage. Brance Walker maybe getting some mana. Okay, so this doesn't feel too greedy of a keep. Galta coming right in. And it looks like Mike going with some more Elves, Gift of Growths, and Evolution Sage. Gift of Growth could have been very interesting against the Massacre Girl there.
Yep.
Possibly preventing something from dying and the chain continuing.
So we're gonna see the Evolution Sage coming out. Ooh, nice. Another Branch Walker.
See if we can get some mana here. Nope. And this is when, if I was Mike here, this is when I know I'm in trouble. Because no one puts a Bontu in the graveyard. Unless you already have a Bontu. Evolution Sage doing work with that Proliferate, but unfortunately no counters. At least not yet.
We got Trample. And I didn't read what the rest of the text said. If that spell was... Oh, kicked. +1/+1 counters. Kind of lacking a little bit in the mana department. Down on Seawolf's side here. Got a lot of creatures, but no black mana.
Yeah,
I'm
the
swamped.
black mana is hurting a little bit.
Oh,
And
never
for sure-
mind. There it is.
There we go.
Now we can start
Unfortunately-
playing some things.
Exactly. Unfortunately, they still need the double black in order to get the Chupacabra or Bontu or Lily. So this is Mike's chance to come back. Kicking Growth, which is going to pump pretty much everybody here. Journey to Eternity, which is great for a graveyard strategy. Probably going to block here in order to flip the Eternity, which has a really cheap way to move creatures from the graveyard to the battlefield.
There we go. Getting the Ravenous Chupacabra out. And I don't think Mike has really an answer to that. Unfortunately, I think Wild Onslaught and both Gift of Growth are buff cards, which doesn't necessarily prevent direct kill spells.
Right, unfortunately no hexproof or anything like that in Mike's hand. Now, they do have another one of those cards that just died, so they could get it working. Could get it up and running again.
Yep. So let's see what Mike is gonna do. Gonna attack.
Gonna try to get in what damage they can, it seems.
Yep.
And untapping the Evolution Sage, so keeping up those blocks. Thinking about the Bantu. Ah, maybe. Maybe.
Maybe. There it is.
Alright, let's see if Seawolf goes extra greedy and tries to sacrifice some of those land. Probably the Chupacabra at the very least.
Yeah.
There we go. Sacrificing the Chupacabra.
Ooh.
And for those who aren't aware, Bantu is a 5/4 for 4 and a black. Whenever it enters the battlefield, you can sacrifice any number of permanents, and you draw that many cards. So if you're head on mana or you're flooding out, just sacrifice those extra lands and draw some new cards. Great for refilling your hand if you need to.
Ooh, this looks like a trap in it. Yeah. See, I don't...
To be fair, Mike has played a lot of pump spells already, so it's not unreasonable to think that they might be out of gas. Plus, Bantu has the God Phase, which in the current set means that if it dies, or goes to the graveyard or exile in any way from the battlefield, it goes to the third card from the top in your deck. It's a little less useful for Bantu personally, because you're going to run out of stuff to sacrifice from the end of the battlefield effect if you keep bringing it back repeatedly.
Yeah.
But the fact that you can keep returning it is still very powerful. And they've hit 6, so if they want, Liliana can come into play. Playing 5 to bring back Chupacabra to the battlefield. Which this is the loop that's really dangerous. It's gonna cost 5, which is fairly expensive for this kind of strategy, but the fact that you can do it over and over and over again makes it pretty good. And there's the hexproof.
Yep. Using the Blinding Fog to prevent all damage that would be dealt to the creatures, and they gain hexproof till the end of turn. Has another
then
Blinding Fog in their hand too, so... Ooh.
My thoughts exactly.
Pretty beefy. They got Ghalta on the field.
With 1 spare.
Yep.
Man, imagine playing Ghalta, swinging with Ghalta next turn, and then playing for green your other Ghalta, effectively giving Ghalta vigilance for a turn. I'd play a card that was green, give a creature vigilance. But it looks like Liliana is going to be coming down. Very strong Planeswalker from the new set.
Each player sacrifices 2 creatures. Ooh.
Right, and Seawolf is going to be able to use this with their Eternity in order to bring this Chupacabra back over and over and over. And unfortunately, Blinding Fog doesn't work here because Mike is the target, not the creatures. And then Liliana's passive going off, drawing 2 cards for each of the creatures that have died on Seawolf's side.
Yeah, and unfortunately just getting a land. We're probably going to see it concede. There it is, yep. Seawolf getting the victory the second time.
GG to both players.
Yeah, there wasn't, unfortunately, anything that Mike had an answer to. So, understandable. looks like we're gonna be getting Rambler versus somebody else. We're gonna see in a moment who Rambler's opponent's gonna be. So it looks like it's gonna be Mike versus Rambler.
And looks like Mike's gonna try to bring that deck back again. It's a pretty solid deck. I can't wait to see it go off with all of those real big elves and the proliferate triggers.
Hey, look, it's 2 boards in 1.
Like, Mike's doing a little bit of tuning. Ah, different deck.
Ah. Okay, so Uncle Drake is coming back.
Okay. So it looks like it's going to be Uncle Drake versus Rambler. Or maybe Uncle Drake versus...
No, it'll definitely
we'll
be.
see.
Yeah, it'll definitely be Uncle Drake versus Rambler. Hey, I saw my name in there. I may have challenged Rambler once before. I think I lost. I don't remember.
Yeah, I haven't done a lot of the outside of Wednesday Night Magic like mid-Discord challenges or anything like that, but everyone's
to-
definitely very helpful in terms of brewing and things like that.
Yeah, I like to test my deck out on people rather than just bots in actual matches.
That's fair. Usually my process is I used a site called Tapped Out to build up the deck, then play it against no opponent for, depending on how long, at least like a day or two, just figuring out the lines and stuff. And then, you know, throwing it into Arena and just immediately jamming it into people. But it can definitely be good to play against, you know, actual opponents and stuff like that. Usually because Arena, there isn't really a good way to test prototype decks. I generally just, if I have the wild cards, I, you know, just build the thing and then just go straight into play. Which I don't do too much ranked. I do every now and again. I find it's generally the same, like, 5 decks in ranked, and just normal play has a lot more variety. So if I've only got time to jam a couple games, usually I'll not do ranked. At least that's how I usually do it.
I just have to say, while we're...
What was that?
I said I just have to say while we're sideboarding that this candle has, like, made me extremely hungry. If you hear growling, it's my stomach.
Would you like to share with the audience what scent that candle is?
Sure. I bought this candle. It's called Flippin' Awesome. And it smells like pumpkin pecan waffles. And it is the the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, first off, best name for a candle I've ever heard. Second off, I think anyone would be hungry after lighting that candle. It makes me want pancakes, but I don't have eggs. Or waffles.
That would be problematic. So it looks like we're trying again to get the match going. I see that Rambler is in the awaiting opponent stage. I think Drake is still on the main bar here. Oh, looks like we might be challenging. Oh, and I think Rambler is canceling.
I think we've got a spelling error. There we go.
Yeah. Sometimes I know that the direct challenge is in fact case sensitive, so that could be the issue.
That seems to be correct. And Drake seems to be challenging topside. I see a cancel button. It might have gone through. Oh, well. Drama's gone. Oh, I see a board.
I see somebody's got a board. Yeah. We've got stuff. Oh, there we go. I think the top part is a little bit ahead again.
And let's go. Looks like we've got, is it Drake's maybe? Versus
It looks like, yeah.
Some sort of... Oh, that's Gates. That's definitely Gates.
Gate Colossus. Twice.
Colossus,
Growth Spiral.
Gate Colossus plus Growth
Yeah.
Spiral plus Growth Spiral.
There's lots of gate mana. Yeah, it's definitely Gates. I actually have a 4-color Gates deck. It's pretty fun.
4 color. Why not
Yeah.
5?
4 is already pushing it for me. Just
That's
saying.
fair. That's fair.
As a mono red player, 4 color is yikes.
Yeah, as much as I enjoy Mardu and Abzan, it's real hard for me to actually build a 3-color deck. Now, I wonder if Rambler is playing the new Ralzeric in this deck, going for the combo. Looks like they're digging for something, that's for sure.
Yeah, we're definitely getting a lot of survey. Well, it could also be to buff up the Drakes when the Drakes come out.
That's true. That's true. We
'cause-
haven't actually seen Rambler's win con in this deck yet.
Yeah.
Uncle Drake, though, having quite a few gates on the field already, plus the Ram ready and waiting to go.
Yep. Also, Hydrate Crisis. One of my favorite creatures from the last. I don't know what to call it. Release.
Set?
Yeah, set. That's the word. That's what I was looking for.
Oh, there's Ral. We found him. Now, I have no idea how this combo works. I just know there is one.
I'm just a little bit scared because, you know, the Ram is gonna get another buff from another gate. I'm assuming, if we can find one. And, yeah, gonna punch. Well, actually, maybe not. Didn't get another gate, so Only 5 damage? Not enough to kill.
Not quite enough to get rid of that Ral, and if I remember correctly, the thing that allows the combo to work is Ral's passive, which you're going to see in full force here, allowing Rambler to copy any spell, any instant or sorcery spell that they cast. Or is it just ping them? I guess I'm not sure. Ral Bid Opt plus expansion is apparently the line, according to chat. Alright, I think the -2 is the copy. And then
Yeah,
otherwise it's just pinging when you do an instance or sorcery.
Ooh, double cast.
That's going to be pretty strong here. That's going to get rid of the Ral, but unfortunately for Uncle Drake, there's another one in hand.
Yep.
Which I think, I'm not sure what the line is here. I think Rambler gets the Ral down first. And then goes for a bunch of spells later. Or is just holding up the mana.
That's a lot of Gate Colossus.
That is a lot of Gate Colossus. A lot of very cheap Gate Colossus.
Yeah.
Copying the root to get some more stuff. Oh, and then countering the other one. Wow, what a good line.
Getting 6 damage off. See, this is the scary thing about the Gate deck. Is Hydra Krasis not only allows you to draw cards, but also heal for half of the amount of mana you used to cast it. As well as, I believe there's an Angel card in there that heals for the amount of gates that you have. So if you're not fast at getting that health down to nothing, then you could get yourself into a bit of trouble.
Right, but there's a lot of copies coming on the stack here soon.
Yep.
So this might be game. I'm not sure how much damage this is going to do.
Getting 6 damage off. See, this is the scary thing
It
about...
looks like Ral's passive
about
is just going
the Gate
to
deck.
allow
And
the
Hydra
copy to
Krasis,
copy the
huh?
copy to copy to the copy, etc., etc., etc. And it's just going to be 11 pings over and over and over again.
Oh, there's the forfeit. That was quite
Uncle Drake
the,
knew what was coming.
Yeah, that was quite the amount of copies going on.
Going for some counter magic here. But what are they going to take out? And going with Saheeli, whose passive is pretty good, allows them to make a Thopter with every spell cast. Ral coming out, Ral going back in.
It's just a tease for chat. Oh, there's the forfeit. That was quite
Uncle Drake
the-
knew what was coming.
Yeah, that was Alright, quite here we the go. amount of copies going on. Lots of mana, not lots of
for
cards,
some
but we
counter
do
magic
have we have a few scries, so I would still
But
keep
what
it.
are they going to take out? And going with Sahili, whose passive
Yeah,
is
Rambler's
pretty
hand seems pretty good
good, allows them to
in
make
terms of
a Thopter
digging through the
with
deck.
every spell cast. Ral coming out, Ral going back in.
That
It's just a tease.
was
Tease for chat.
ooh. Did Uncle Drake mill down to?
Oh, there's
Six?
Yeah, I believe Uncle
Or
Drake
five?
milled down pretty low,
Yeah.
but has a lot of
Here
mana
we
in
go.
hand, and most importantly has the negate with Ral's name on it, probably. Like, I would be really surprised if Uncle Drake doesn't keep up that 2 mana constantly as soon as Rambler hits 3. Guild Summit getting Uncle Drake all that card draw that they need. Now the question is, do they play the Ram? Or do they hold up that negate? Because Rambler's getting very close. Yep, holding up that negate.
Ooh. God
Bye-bye.
Pharaoh statue.
Playing down the Ram, still able to keep up that negate.
Nobody's really playing anything but lands right now.
Yeah, I think they're both being very cautious. And I think in this long, cautious game, Uncle Drake ends up coming ahead because those Gate Colossi are going to be free after a little while.
Ooh. But didn't keep. Oh yeah, has a blue there for negate. Still has mana.
Uncle Drake showing incredible restraint here, not countering. Wait. Oh, okay. I thought that was Rambler targeting something on Uncle Drake's side for a second there. And here comes the Ral, I'm guessing, and there goes the negate.
Yep.
A turn 6 years in the making. And unfortunately, Rambler doesn't have the counter magic up.
Nope.
One short for that Ionize.
Oh, well.
Oh, but there's another Ral. And Drake
And-
doesn't have the counter to match.
Nope.
This could be trouble.
Eight damage right to the face.
But thanks to Godfarer's statue, spells are going to be a lot more to cast, so it's going to be a lot more difficult for Rambler to pull off that combo.
Yep.
Scrying for safety, but I think that Ral might just be dead.
Yeah. Unless there's a way to prevent damage. That Gate Colossus is gonna hit for a lot.
It's definitely going to rumble in. Plus, the Godfarer's statue is slowly draining Rambler's life, so Uncle Drake definitely has the long game here.
Some more guild gates coming out.
An almost
Ano-
free Gate Colossus. Though it might actually be free.
And there's the concede. So
There we
Uncle
go.
Drake with 1 victory, NY Rambler with the second, or with the first. So going into game 3.
Yeah, Uncle Drake able to keep up that counter magic, and the Godpharaoh statue just really putting in some work. Though it's a 6-drop, so I'd hope so. Though I haven't actually seen it in action yet. Here we go, game 3. Rambler starting with that Ral, but not enough magic. And starting with a mountain. So no turn 1 opt, probably going for another
Oh,
mulligan.
Gosh.
Probably gotta keep
There-
that. And
yeah.
opt on top. Maybe
Oh,
not?
but puts it on the bottom.
Interesting.
Needs mana. Maybe. Oh.
I probably would have personally kept that opt on top, try to dig a little deeper.
Yeah, this is gonna be a really troublesome time for Rambler. We got Gatebreaker Ram in Uncle Drake's hands. We also have the Knight as well, but not the mana to cast it yet.
Ram coming down as a 5/5.
Yeah.
Rambler, unfortunately, not getting the mana they need in order to cast all of these draw spells to start filtering through their deck.
Just a really bad hand at the beginning, unfortunately, and having any more would just be too much. Oh goodness. And there is monstrosities being built on the other side of the field over here.
Yeah, those Rams can really start running away with the game.
Yep, and Gate Colossus only costs 2 to cast now. It's gonna be another 8/8 on the field. It's gonna be insane.
Rambler finally getting the mana that they need in order to start drawing some cards. Another Sulphur's Falls. That's gonna help get some mana out, but is it gonna be enough? That Ram's gonna start cracking in here for 8. It's only a 2-turn clock.
Ooh, my goodness. It's a 10-10 gate. Gate. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And
There
that's
is
the
a-
concede.
Yeah.
An unfortunately slow start for Rambler, and an unfortunately fortunately fast hand for Drake.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate. Rambler not being able to get a single mana. But GG to Uncle Drake. Congrats on the win.
GG to both players.
Yep. And I believe that is going to be our last match of the night. Let me just confirm this. Yes, it is. So thank you to everyone who was playing in the community, and thank you everyone for watching. If you guys play Magic: The Gathering Arena and you want to participate in some of these matches, then make sure to type in !MTGA in the chat so you can get the Discord link. Join the Discord and ask for the community role so that when we're doing community matches, that you can sign up for some. Ton of fun. And help other people if you're knowledgeable in the Magic, deck building game. Then you can help people build some decks, and it's all around fun time.
Yeah, everyone, especially right now with a new standard fresh off the press, everyone's having a great time brewing all sorts of new decks.
And a reminder that we have a tournament coming up again in June. So if you want to see the information for that, type in !challenge, $1,000 prize pool to be distributed amongst the winners. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I hope to see a lot of you in there. Maybe I might get to face up against some people. Woohoo!
Yeah, it's going to be a super great time.
But yeah, thank you so much to RogueLink for commentating with me today. It was super appreciated.
Anytime, and thanks for joining me and with all these awesome matches tonight.
And let me just take a look at the Speed Gaming schedule and see what they've got coming up next. We've got... How do I move to the next day? Looks like on Speed Gaming 2, they've got Bloodborne, Speed Gaming 4, Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer, and Speed Gaming 5. They've got Link to the Past Overworld glitches going on right now. So if you want more fun stuff, then feel free to check that out. And we do Wednesday Night Magic every Wednesday night. So we'll see you next week.
And stick around. We're going to be hosting Skybills here, another Team Instant Speed member, for her St. Jude charity event that she's been doing the last couple of days.
So let's all go say hi to Sky.